back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabriella and I'm a content creator based here in New York. And today I'm going to do something a little bit different from my usual vlog content. For this video, I'm going to sit down and talk to all of you about just my entire moving process so far, because I think this would hopefully be helpful for anyone out there who is thinking about moving to New York soon or is going to be moving within New York anytime soon as well. I have a few moving tips and advice that I've learned over the past few years. I've moved around in New York about 5 times now. I know there are plenty of other people who have moved around way more than I have, but I think 5 times is not a bad number. I think I've gathered enough experience to give a few tips here and there that will hopefully make your move a little bit easier as well. So if you're not caught up with all of my New York City moving vlogs, I have 3 episodes out so far. I will leave my playlist up here and also in the description down below so you can see exactly what my real life move was all about. Overall, it was a really good experience, probably my least stressful experience to date. But without further ado, let's go into my moving tips. Okay, first moving tip. If you have the budget, if you have, the means to do so, I would absolutely hire professional movers if you're able to. This eliminated all of the stress, especially on moving day, like completely. So it was actually my first time using professional movers when I moved into this apartment. In the past, I've always done it myself, or I've had family members and friends help. And even though I am so grateful for everyone in my life who has helped me move apartments, this time my husband and I, we were both just like, you know what, let's get professional movers. We ended up going with Piece of Cake Moving and they are so incredible. I can't stress enough of how stress-free we both were during our moving day, but they really have amazing customer service. They help you with all the paperwork. Like, for example, I didn't realize this, but you need to have a certificate of insurance with both of your buildings that you're moving in and out of. So they were able to help us out with all of that. And also on our actual moving day, we had 2 movers come and they were both so sweet and so kind and so gentle. And they did the entire moving process in under, I think it was 3 hours. Or 4 hours maybe, including taking all of our boxes and furniture out of the old apartment and then bringing them all into the new apartment, and also disassembling and assembling our storage bed. So yeah, they also have disassemble and assembling services if you need that. On that note though, if you're using professional movers, tip your movers well, because they do so much for you on moving day, doing all the heavy lifting and everything. So definitely tip your movers well, and also offer them water, coffee, food, snacks, whatever it is. Okay, so tip number 2 is to try your best to do the moving out process as early during the day, preferably before 9 a.m. because you just want to get it all out of the way early in the morning so that around lunchtime and in the afternoon you can spend that time actually doing all of the unpacking. Okay, my 3rd tip, and this is actually something that I don't know why I never have done before until this most recent move, but it's to pack an essentials box or an essentials luggage, duffel bag, whatever it is. But basically do this at the very last step when you're doing all the packing. Get a designated box or a bag, luggage, whatever, and put all of your daily essentials in there. So, clothes that you are probably gonna wear for the next few days, toiletries, even toilet paper, your skincare products, makeup, just anything that you typically use every single day. Put it all into this essential box so that when you're moving into the new place, you don't have to go through all of your boxes to find toilet paper or a piece of clothing that you want to wear. So for me and my husband, we used a designated luggage just because it was easier to spot, and we just put all of our clothes, all of our skincare, all of our toiletries in there. Tip number 4 is to rent plastic bins or crates if you're able to. We had the options with our professional movers, whether we wanted to buy a whole pack of boxes, or we could rent their plastic bins where they would drop off the plastic bins at our apartment 7 days before our moving day, and then they come back 7 days after to pick it all back up again. So it was our first time using plastic bins, and let me tell you, it was so easy. I don't know about you, but I hate building cardboard boxes and having to, take them apart after using them. That whole process for me is just so energy draining. I don't know if it's just me, but I really loved working with plastic bins because you just throw everything in there and then you just close the lid and then you're done. It also just feels a lot cleaner as well, less dusty, and also it's just better for the environment. Okay, tip number 5. I'm sure most of you already do this to begin with, but just in case, when you're packing, label your boxes by room. This just makes everything a lot easier, especially when you're moving into your new place. Your movers can just see the label on your box and know where to put that box in, so that by the time, you know, all your movers have left, everything that you need to unpack is exactly where they need to be. Okay, so tip number 6 is to get wardrobe boxes. So if you don't know what wardrobe boxes are, they're basically like these huge, like super tall boxes, and at the top they have a metal rod that goes through, and you would basically use these boxes to get anything that's hanging in your closet, take it right off of the rack and put it into the wardrobe box. And it's just so easy because when you get to your new place, you can take all of your clothes out of the wardrobe box and put it directly into your new closet, and it just makes the whole process a lot simpler. Okay, so tip number 7 is, while you are packing all of your items and all your clothes, make sure that you are thinking about whether or not you need that item or not. So by that, I mean declutter your items as much as you can. Purge whatever you don't use, whatever that doesn't give you a purpose or any joy anymore. Get a designated bin where you can just throw anything that you don't want, and you can either donate it, you can give it to a friend or a family member, you can sell it, or if it's just super old and it's broken or whatever, just throw it out. Which brings me to tip number 8, which is to sell any of your items that you plan on selling, whether it's Facebook Marketplace or apartment deco, whatever, as early as you can. Preferably at least 2 weeks in advance prior to your moving date. So for us, we sold a lot of our furniture items on Facebook Marketplace, and we gave ourselves a month before our moving date to just sell it all, because you never know. From my experience and also from my other friends' experience, when you sell on Facebook Marketplace, sometimes the buyers will be like, yes, I want this right now, but then they just get really flaky last minute, and then you have to find another buyer. So definitely give yourself a month out, I would say, at least 2 weeks before your moving date. Okay, so now tip number 9 is to make sure that you are hydrating yourself and also eating during your moving date. So I know this is like kind of a random tip, but trust me, the moving day is very hectic. It can be very chaotic and just a lot happening. And sometimes, especially for me, so much is going on that I forget to eat. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if it's like the adrenaline that goes over my body, but sometimes I forget to eat, and by the time I remember to eat, it's like the middle of the afternoon. So I would definitely make sure that, you know, if you're moving early in the morning, wake up a little bit earlier and make sure you get a really full hearty breakfast just to start your day off, you know, on a good note, and that you have enough energy for the rest of the day. But make sure around lunchtime, make sure that you also like either order something to eat, or that you have something in your new apartment in the fridge that's ready for you to eat as well. Okay, so my last moving tip is to embrace the chaos. It's going to be crazy, it's gonna be chaotic, it's gonna be a lot happening. I was just really excited for the new change, you know, a change environment, a new chapter in our lives, and a new space. So definitely, you know, try to stay relaxed and calm during the moving day. But you know, if it gets a little bit crazy, embrace it. Okay, so those are my 10 moving tips, but to add on to all of that, I do have 3 advice that I would also give based off of my personal experience. My first advice is to just know that your home is going to be chaotic for both your old apartment and your new apartment. Both apartments are gonna be super chaotic during the process of moving, because, you know, for the old apartment, it's just gonna be so many boxes everywhere. All of your items are probably gonna be scattered all around. And you just have to just live with it and know that this is all just temporary. And the same thing goes for your new apartment as well. My second piece of advice is, once you're all moved into the new apartment, I would definitely say, and this is an advice that I also need to follow myself, is to take time when it comes to decorating your new space. So for me, I get really excited about, you know, a new environment, a new apartment, because I just think about, you know, how am I going to decorate the space? How am I going to organize everything? It's like a blank canvas for me, and that just like gets me really excited. But I would definitely recommend to just take your time when it comes to decorating your space. Don't buy everything all at once. Don't do any impulsive purchases as well. I would definitely, you know, move into the new space, see what you want to buy, see if it actually fits in your new space, and if it all works out, then buy it. Okay, so the last thing to keep in mind is just to note that change is good. You're moving into a new space, which is a huge change in your life for sure. But for me, you know, I always love to see it as, you know, a positive thing. Like, change is very exciting. Change for me equals growth, and it's just so exciting to move into a new space. You know, for this move specifically, this new apartment is a lot bigger than our old apartment. And when my husband and I both were moving into the new space, we were both just like reflecting on our lives, not to get emotional again. We were just reflecting about how far we've come since moving to New York, you know, a number of years ago, and that we were so excited and happy, and we felt really lucky that, you know, we were able to get an apartment like this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that change is good and it's super exciting. You know, it's big for sure in your life, but I think when it comes to moving apartments, it could be really exciting. Okay, so that is all that I have for, you know, everything that comes with moving, all my tips and things to keep in mind. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you love this type of content where I just sit down, talk to you, all of you face to face, then it would mean so much to me if you would hit the like button, and it would mean a lot to me even more if you would hit the subscribe button as well. If you have any additional tips when it comes to moving apartments or moving in New York or to New York, then definitely feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'm sure your tips and your advice and everything would help so much to everybody. Also, last shout out is I will leave my Amazon storefront in the description down below as well. So if you're interested in what I bought on Amazon for this new apartment, you can find it in the link down below. But other than that, thank you so much for watching this video again, and I will see you all next week.